Guys, you're welcome back to my channel. Today we want to take a look at qualitative analysis, and with respect to this qualitative analysis, for those students out there who are preparing for 2024 Waec examination, or for those tutors out there who are looking for a little guide on qualitative analysis, this video is for you. Especially those students who are there, help those students out there to pass the exam without any means of help. So what do you understand by the concept of qualitative analysis? So one thing you should note about this qualitative analysis, the main objective of this class, the first thing we want to take a look at is what are the area of interest of cations and anions. So, and again, what are those tests that is being classified under qualitative analysis? We have preliminary tests and we have tests for cations and anions, and there is one particular one which many teachers out there will need to pay max attention to, because, or students out there will need to pay max attention to, because this year Waec guide is based on redox reaction. So we'll also take a look at flame tests. So after this video, the video I'll be dropping next will be alternative to the 2024 guide, or I call it likely questions under the 2024 Waec guide. So guys, what do you understand by qualitative analysis? Listen, qualitative analysis is concerned for the determination of cations, which are the metallic radicals, and anions, which are the what? Acid radicals of a given sample. You know, for example, now, when it comes to qualitative analysis, it is what you can see physically. I'm shooting this video based on alternative. I'm not with any apparatus here, but when you pay max attention to this class, you will get what I'm talking about. So now again, qualitative analysis is concerned with the determination of cations and anions. So I'll be putting that on the board, and please, Waec students out there, take note of anything I said here or anything I drop here. It will serve as a guide for your chemistry practicals. So is concerned by the determination of cations, metallic radicals, and anion. So we call these acid radicals in a given what? Sample, or we can say of a given sample. So now, this is a brief definition of qualitative analysis. So now, you know, I mentioned earlier that there are some areas of interest at which Waec restricts their syllabus to when it comes to the cations, which is this, and the anions, which is this. So now I want to look at some area of interest, or we call it interest at which you can easily deduce your cations and anions. Exactly now. So we said area of interests of J, okay, of Waec syllabus on cations and anions. So now you can say these are what? cations. So what are the areas of interest for cations for Waec syllabus? The first one we'll take a look is what? Let's start with sodium. So I'll be explaining the sodium on our flame test. What are the likely color, or what are the inference? If sodium should undergo flame test, what are the inference? So I'll be telling you guys that on flame test short after this explanation on this. We have potassium, we have this ammonium, we have copper, we have zinc, we have iron 2 plus, we have iron 3 plus, we have calcium, we also have lead. So let's put it, please. So this, the one for anions, we have chlorine, we have this, we have SO4, we have SO3, we have sulfur, we have this, okay, we also have this. So these are the likely cations and anions at which Waec can easily play with when it comes to the qualitative analysis. So now, what the next one we'll be taking a look at will be the preliminary test. And under that preliminary test, I'll be showing you guys some certain elements or compound and their inference. The one you have on the board here now. For every preliminary test, we look at the physical inspection of substance, flame test, and action of it on that substance. So the first one goes thus: black color. If you are in the laboratory and you are carrying out a preliminary test and the observation was what? Black color, and the inference what? Sulfur sulfide, or we have metallic oxide. So now this way you're going to have can have this instead. Exactly now. So for this green color, what is the inference, or what is the action of it on the sort given, and at the end the observation where you can see is green color, something like this. Exactly now. You can have iron 2 oxide, or we have this, or we can easily, or chromium 3 oxide. So for it to make it short, you can just say Fe2 plus is present or suspected or confirmed. Exactly. So the next one is yellow color. That is, if you are given a particular salt, what is the physical inspection on eating? So the observation is what class? Yellow color. Then what is our inference? That is what we are looking at. Don't forget I said earlier that this particular video is based on alternative to practical, just to serve as a what? A guide to those students who are preparing for Waec 2024 examination. Exactly now. So what is the effect on it after we have observed that we have a what? A yellow color? We can also have this iron 2 oxide, and we have lead 2 oxide. So if I have Pb 2 plus, I have this. So this you are seeing on the board now, we can put it like Pb2 plus is present, or Pb2 plus is suspected or is present, depending on the kind of English you are using. If for example now maybe the color is showing this yellow color now, maybe it's not as deep as the normal yellow color we ought to have. Is that clear now? Then we can say Pb plus or Fe2 plus may be present or suspected. Just like what we have on the board now. This is my marker. It's a good example of what? Blue color. And what is the inference if you're having a blue color? Mostly in the laboratory, as far as chemistry is concerned, those salts with blue come with what? Copper. Is that clear now? So that is what? The inference. Copper is present. Take note of that. And the next one is smell of ammonia. The smell of ammonia means that ammonia, there is a particular inference there, we can call it what? Ammonia salt. Or in your inference, you cannot write what? Ammonia salts there. So rather you go with what? Ammonia is present or is confirmed. The sixth one is deliquescence. Expose. Exactly now. When you come across a place when something is what? Deliquescized. What are the things we can easily observe there? Exactly now. There are two things that we can use as an inference here, which is acceptable as far as Waec is concerned. The first one is trioxonitrate salts or chlorine. Either of these two. But it depends. When you observe that something is what? Deliquescent. What will come to your head as a Waec student should notice what? So trioxonitrate salt or we have chlorine. And the last but not the least, we have reddish brown. Now, this is it. We said our blue color is what? Copper. But here, reddish brown, we have two inferences here. We have copper or iodide. So either we have this or, is that clear now? Why the last one, which is white? Because it's possible you come across a white precipitate, or some will shorten it to be what? A white PPT. So is that clear now? So for this now, this is common. This is common. There are some salts without transition metal ion. Some salts without transition metal ion. So let me put it. So guys, these are the preliminary tests. I told you guys that for every preliminary test, it involves a physical inspection, flame test, and action of it. So the next one I'll be dropping will majorly on flame test. After that flame test, we'll call it a day. But my next video, as I've said earlier, I'll be dropping a video on likely question from the 2024 redox reaction. Is that clear now? So let's take a look at flame tests. Flame tests. One thing you should know about these flame tests is that they are used to identify the presence of small amounts of metal ions in a compound. And note one thing, not all metal ion undergo flame test. Not all metal ion undergo flame test. So now look at this. We have a golden yellow flame color. For example, now for those of you that are using stove or that have come across stove or Bunsen burner, when you light it, there is a particular thing you see there, not the end result. The moment you light either your gas at home, you see a particular color there. not blue, not brick red, not red, but it forms 7 different colors there. So now we want to look at the effect of flame test now to identify the small amounts of metal ions in a compound. So now we are given a golden yellow, and for golden yellow, for your observation, is always what? Sodium, positive. Lilac, potassium, is the inference. You know, when I was telling you guys under the preliminary test, we can have 2 compounds, but these are their inference, or these are the inference subjected to the observation. Take note of that. For this, we have calcium. For bluish green, we have copper. For this, we have iron to plus, and this we have lead to plus. So guys, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, turn on your notification, like, comment, as I'll be dropping the alternatives to practicals based on the 2024 Waec instruction.